What is going on, everybody? I'm going to talk to you how I would fix Warhammer 40k after LVO. This would be for the April Big FAQ, and let's get right into it. I got a couple fixes here that I think would be very good for the game. First off, I want to say I think 8th edition is a pretty great edition of Warhammer. It has been a lot of fun. The game is bigger than it's ever been. A lot of people are enjoying it. So my first fix would be make the aircraft keyword follow the rule of three. So I do believe flyers in the game, not units with the fly keyword. I'm talking about flyers like airplanes. They're a little clunky for the rules. They look super awesome on the table, but they have some interactions that seem very unintended, like they can block units' movement. And now I know they tried to fix it, except now you just park that flyer about 2 inches in front of the unit and it doesn't have the movement to clear it, so it can't move through it. It's an airplane that should be, 1,000 feet up in the air, and the unit on the ground cannot move through it. There's a problem with this, obviously, since probably the beginning of 8th edition, a lot of people taking a lot of flyers, and although they could take 3 of this, 3 of that, 3 of that, whatever, I think if they just made flyers in general with the aircraft keyword, follow the rule of 3, that would be very good for the game. So if you wanted to take 3 Crimson Exarch Hunters, then you could not take 3 Hemlock Wraith Fighters, for example, or you couldn't take 3 Stormhawk Interceptors and 3 Storm Talons. 0 to 3 for flyers. I mean, we're talking a unit that is flying above the battlefield, yet is automatically hit by flamethrowers. You can throw grenades at them. They can block movement of troops on the ground. It's just a weird all-around mechanic. They also then automatically die when they fly off the table. It's just, I don't know. They're kind of clunky as far as the simplicity and quality of 8th edition. My second rule, I have 2 versions of this. One, which should have been in since day 1, make 6s always hit. It makes no sense why 6s always wound. You could shoot las pistols at Warhound Titans and wound on 6s, but you can't shoot las pistols at -3 or -4 to hit units because you can't hit them. It doesn't make any sense. I don't think the stacking of minuses was intended, although Games Workshop has let this go for quite a while since the Altiok days of Craft World Eldar. A big thing you're going to see at LVO, if you're watching this afterwards, is Chaos Space Marine armies with units that are like -3, -4 to hit, characters that, -4 to hit, Lord Discordant -4 to hit with a psychic power. Not good for the game at all to have things that are untargetable. Just, you can throw a grenade at an airplane, but you can't point blank shoot a guy in the face if he's -4 to hit. So you'll see it's going to be a problem, and yeah, it's just not good for the game. The other option, besides making 6s always hit, would be limit the amount of minuses a unit could suffer from hitting to -1. This would be a little more controversial. I don't know how it would play out exactly, but hear me out. If you could only ever take a -1 to hit, your guys with assault weapons would run and shoot more often. Because if they were shooting at somebody that was already -1 to hit, you would basically ignore the -1 for running and shooting, advancing. Eldar flyers or other flyers in general, you could not stack multiple minuses on them, so you would always just be at a -1. And you would cap it there. Moving and shooting heavy weapons, you're a -1. So if you want to move and shoot a heavy weapon at an airplane, you just step a flat -1. Now, this fix idea is a problem because that makes Space Marines even better. Because one of the tricks for dealing with Space Marines, they have a lot of rerolls and a lot of accuracy with their firepower, is people are stacking these minuses. So I think you're going to have to adjust Space Marines, or maybe they're just the first books out in the new era of codexes, where everybody else will just catch up over time, getting a little bit in Psychic Awakening until their new codexes come out, and everybody will be more powerful. We'll see. But a fix to Space Marines could be the doctrines automatically tick forward. So you start in Devastator, second turn you're in Tactical, third turn you're in Assault, maybe fourth turn they go away, or you stay in Assault for the rest of the game. This would be an interesting fix because the most powerful Space Marine armies right now are Iron Hands and Imperial Fists, and they stay in the Devastator Doctrine the whole game. And what makes them so powerful is they have great bonuses to it, and they start in it first turn. Another powerful one is the Raven Guard. Second turn, they switch over, and now they're really at their peak. Now, these armies would fall off towards the Assault Doctrine on turn 3 with their firepower, and they would have to take a more well-rounded list to maybe benefit from each step forward of the doctrines. Now, this would benefit, or not even benefit, a unit or an army like White Scars or an Assault Space Marine army, which wants to be in the Assault Doctrine, still has to wait till turn 3. So for them, they would stay the same, turn 1, 2, and 3, because by turn 3, they would have gotten it anyway. And then turn 4 and 5, they could keep it if all Space Marines keep it. And then this would provide use for those stratagems, like in the Iron Hands Codex, where you can use command points to pick a unit and get the rules as if it's in the Devastator Doctrine still, which an Iron Hands army is never going to the Tactical Doctrine, yet they have a stratagem to make a unit operate as if it's in the Devastator Doctrine, which it always will be. So it would make use for those kind of stratagems. I don't know if those exist, though, in all the supplements. If not, I think they would need to be added. Whatever army benefits, whatever doctrine they benefit the most from, some kind of stratagem to allow a unit to use those doctrine rules. Another thing, and my final thought on it. First, I'm currently have a live Kickstarter for the Ghost dry brushes. If you've been around the channel, I sell Ghost brushes on eBay. I sell them to retailers. They carry them around the world. And I currently have a Kickstarter for the Ghost dry brushes live on Kickstarter right now. Go search Ghost dry brush on Kickstarter. Thank you so much for the support. My last and final big change I would love to see, and I should have mentioned this one in the second change I had, stop making plasma weapons kill themselves if they're suffering a minus to hit. They should always die on an unmodified 1, period. Because if they could get a +1 to hit, they don't die when they roll 1s. They count as 2s. Yes, they still miss, but they are not 1s and don't kill them. And if they're shooting at a -3 target, they can't overcharge because you're going to die 50% of the time or more. Or 50% of the time exactly. So fix the plasma guns to just, the way they're changing the reroll auras to being all-encompassing as far as like you just reroll any hit dice you want. Change all plasma weapons flat across the board in the FAQ on an unmodified roll of 1 while overcharging. You suffer the mortal wound or the death or whatever that rule is involved with that weapon you're using. That's it, guys. That's what I got for fixes for Warhammer 40k 8th edition after the LVO. Thank you so much. Please subscribe. Let me know how you would fix the game down below in the comments. And like I said, I do think the game is in a really, really good spot, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. I'm currently working on some Eldar myself. So what are you working on? I'll talk to you down below.